Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful, may God's praise and blessings be upon His holy Prophet, Muhammad.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, so from the President Ismail Al-Adli and the President of Djibouti, respected delegates, Your Excellencies, also the President of the ERF, heads of governments, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, heads of delegations, honorable assistants, so peace be with you. So we are now working here at the third forum on the Universal Declaration on Balanced and Inclusive Education. In the name of the Comoros government, and personally, I would like to greet everyone here at this important meeting. It is of great importance, dealing as it does with reflection on education and indeed the future of our society and future generations. I'd like to express my gratitude to Mr. Al-Hajj Ismail Al-Adli and the government of the Republic of Djibouti that is hosting this meeting, and to the brother people of Djibouti for their warm welcome and generous hospitality with which they have received me, myself, and my delegation during our time here in Djibouti. I would also like to extend my greetings to Mr. Bin Musalam, President of the Education Relief Foundation, and indeed those working with him. Thank you for holding this important event. So, my delegation is here in Djibouti, and it feels very natural to be here. The question of education is very important to us. It is a priority for our government in the Comoros in 2020. We are very pleased to be here to show our commitment and our close links with Djibouti, our brother country here. We share so much. We are members of the UN, the African Union, and the League of Arab States, and the Francophone Organization. Djibouti its active parts in collaboration in the meeting in 2001 on the Comoros in France. It's also been collaborating in the funding of the Comoros Development Fund presented at that time. So we extend our gratitude from the government and people of the Comoros to the government and the brothers and sisters here in Djibouti. So the international community is now accepting the importance of education and the sustainable development goals, particularly development goal 4, to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning, especially for marginalized groups. This is a lifelong challenge that we all accept. We must make progress in education. So progress has been made around the world in terms of schooling. Nonetheless, many people still do not have the opportunity to participate under equal conditions with inclusive education. There are vulnerable children, and there are also many suffering handicaps, particularly in developing countries. Many children are denied all forms of education. This is the context during which, in the 2015 forum, the international development partners and representatives of civil society and teaching professions adopted the framework for action. We want single education. It must be up to date, it must be ambitious, and no one must be left behind in our efforts to attain Sustainable Development Goal 4, to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. In my country, the Comoros, and in the growth strategy, the government, through the Education Ministry, has put in place transition legislation in education from 2018 to 2020. This is in line with the emerging Comoros plan looking to 2030. The key strategic focuses are to develop instruments for inclusive basic education in an appropriate framework for our national situation. So we want to provide schooling for all children, particularly those in situations of vulnerability and for handicapped children. We must recall that inclusive education should apply for handicapped people, also girls, all children in vulnerable situations. We need to progressively take into account diversity of needs amongst all children. We must adapt schools to the children, not vice versa. So, respected delegates, we will all share experiences during this conference, and this will be vital for development of our educational system. We will all contribute the elements that are necessary to put together our strategies as we gear our systems to the needs of globalization. So we are business for all of us. It is the key. Education is the key to all development. We must remain committed, and we must work to handle our current difficulties, putting together a basis for durable, lasting, sustainable education for tomorrow. Before I finish, let me just recall one thing. It's a verse from the Quran.
يرفع الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات. Et je vous remercie.
Thank you very much.